This is a story that has never been solved, not in 1900, and not in the century since. It begins on December 26, 1900, as the relief ship Hesperus cuts through heavy swells toward a lonely rock off the west coast of Scotland. The island is called Eilean Moor, and for the past year, 3 men have kept its lighthouse burning. But this morning, the tower stands silent. No flag flies on the flagstaff. No answer comes to the ship's signals. Something is wrong on Eilean Moor. And the night before, a passing steamer had reported the impossible, the lamp that must never go dark, never lit. Captain Harvey sounds the ship's horn and waits. Nothing. He fires a signal into the gray winter sky. Still nothing. On a rock barely half a kilometer wide, with 3 trained men on duty, someone should have come running. Only the seabirds move, circling the tower in the wind. Relief keeper Joseph Moore rows ashore alone, climbs the 160 stone steps, calling the keepers' names. The gate is shut. The main door is shut. And behind it, he is about to find something that will haunt him for the rest of his life. Inside, the lighthouse is frozen in time, like a photograph of an ordinary day that simply stopped. The beds are unmade. The clock on the wall has run down and stopped. The ashes in the fireplace are stone cold, days old. 3 men lived here, James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, Donald MacArthur. Experienced keepers. Family men. All 3 are gone, as if the island had swallowed them. In the kitchen, Moore finds the first real clue, a chair lying overturned on the stone floor, as if someone stood up so fast he knocked it backwards and never looked back. And yet everything else is in perfect order. The lamp is cleaned, refilled, ready to be lit. Whatever happened here happened fast, and days before anyone came looking. Then Moore notices the coats. 2 sets of oilskins are missing from their hooks. But one set still hangs by the door, untouched. Think about it. December, in the North Atlantic, freezing spray. And one of the keepers walked out into that, in his shirt sleeves, without his coat. Whatever called him outside, he didn't stop for anything. The men searched every meter of the island. Every crack in the rocks, both landings. No bodies. No wreckage. No sign of a struggle. The last record left by the keepers was written on a slate, December 15, 9 in the morning. 11 days of silence before anyone arrived. But it is the log entries from the days before that turned this into a legend. December 12, severe winds, the like of which I have never seen in 20 years. It describes Thomas Marshall on edge. James Duckett, a veteran of decades at sea, quiet, irritable, unsettled. And the 3rd keeper, Donald MacArthur, a former soldier the locals called a brawler, was said to be crying. 3 hardened men, inside the safest building on the island. What were they afraid of? The final entry, December 15th, storm ended, sea calm, God is over all. A strange, almost biblical line to close a lighthouse log. But weather records from ships passing nearby show those days were calm. No storm at all. The storm that terrified 3 veteran keepers, according to every other record, never happened. The Northern Lighthouse Board sends Superintendent Robert Muirhead, a man who knew these keepers, who had hired them himself. What he finds at the West Landing stops him cold. Mooring ropes, stored high on the cliff, torn loose and scattered. Iron railings twisted like wire. A life buoy ripped from its fastenings. And a block of stone weighing more than a ton, moved out of place, as if the sea itself had picked it up and set it down again. Here is the detail that defies explanation: the damage reaches a platform 33 meters above the sea. A 10-story building. Waves do not climb that high. Muirhead's conclusion was careful, and unsatisfying. the keepers were swept away by an extraordinary sea while securing equipment. Case closed. Except the report didn't explain the overturned chair. It didn't explain the missing coat. And it didn't explain a log describing a storm that no one else had seen. The most accepted theory today is the rogue wave. The west landing sits above a deep, narrow gully, a natural funnel that concentrates the swells. In the right conditions, such formations produce sudden surges several times larger than the surrounding sea, walls of water that rise from calm with almost no warning. Picture it. Two men at the landing, working to secure the supply box. The third, MacArthur, watching from the tower. He sees a wall of gray water rising behind his friends. He leaps up, knocking the chair backwards, and runs out into the December cold, no coat, no hesitation. He almost makes it. The wave takes all three. It is a clean explanation. But over the decades, darker ones filled the silence. A fight at the cliff edge. Madness, brewed by isolation. A ghost ship that took them aboard. Foreign agents. Even a creature from the deep gully. None left a single trace of evidence. But then again, neither did the wave. The bodies were never found. The Atlantic keeps what it takes. The light was relit within days, and new keepers tended it for 71 more years. Many of them reported, quietly, that they never felt entirely alone in that tower. In 1971 the lighthouse was automated, and the last keeper left Eileen Moore. Today the island is empty again. Only the tower remains, flashing its warning to the ships that pass in the night. And the famous log entries, the crying keeper, the impossible storm. Many historians now believe they were invented, embellished by journalists when the mystery sold newspapers across the empire. The original logbook has never been produced. No archive holds it. No photograph of its pages exists. The most quoted evidence in this entire case may never have existed. Which leaves the one question no theory has answered. Three of the most disciplined men in the service, bound by one rule: the light is never left unattended. All three broke it at the same moment. What did they see from that tower? Tell me your theory in the comments. And the next file is already open.